Hello, let's review about exponents. Remember that when working with simplifying exponents, what we do is to use the properties. So we have the product property, the quotient property, the power property. We have these two properties that talk about product and power. We have the zero property and the negative property. Let's start working with some examples. In this first one, what we are doing is multiplying x squared times x to the 4 times x to the 3. So what we do with the exponents is to add them according to the product property. So this is equal to having x to the power of 9. We continue with the next example and we do the same. We work with the elements that are alike, like working with like terms, the numbers with the numbers, the variables with the variables, and we get that 2 times 5 is 10, and y to the power of 1 times y squared is y to the power of 3. In this third example, what we have, a power to a power, an exponent to another exponent. So for that, we apply the power property that say when we have that, we have to multiply the exponents. So in this case, we're gonna get c to the power of 35. We continue working with more examples. In this next one, what we have is a multiplication. So I multiply the negative 6 by the negative 9, I get 54, and the x to the 8 times x to the x squared, and that's x to the power of 10. In this another example, what we have is variables that are different, but at the end, I work with the variables that are alike together. So in this case, what we have is a to the power of 3 times a to the power of 4 is a to the power of 7. And b to the power of 5 times b to the power of 4 is b to the power of 9. And like that, we complete our example. We have another one that is a multiplication and is similar to the previous example. I work with the 4 and negative 3 together because they are numbers. I work with the x and x. I work with the y and y, and I work with the z and z together, like terms. So I have x to the power of 1 times x to the power of 4 is x to the power of 5. Y squared times y to the power of 6 is y to the power of 8. And c to the 1 times c to the 1 is c squared. And like that, we finish our exercise. In this next example, what we have is an expression that has many terms to an exponent of 5. So for that, we're going to apply the property about the power of product that say that when we have a power, that power applies to each of the elements that are inside the parentheses and are multiplying. In this case, that's what we're gonna do. The power of 5 applies to the a squared, to the b to the power of 3, and to the b to the power of 4, and also to the negative. So at the end, what we get is negative a to the power of 10, b to the power of 15, and c to the power of 20. Because remember that since we are applying the power property, we multiply the exponents. 2 times 5, 3 times 5, and 4 times 5.